What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. I got a couple of quick duels for you guys to check out. The first one is going to see Doki Magnets facing off against Lair of Darkness featuring Dark Lords. And yeah, the central theme of this deck definitely is all dark everything. I'm guessing Allure of Darkness is like the main synergy between the two archetypes because everything essentially should be usable with Allure of Darkness, so you can like power speed through your deck. Doki Magnets, on the other hand, is, you know, a deck that basically can go berserkion at any point. Yes, that was a pun intended. You guys will see what I'm talking about momentarily. Anyways, I believe that Dokis are going to go first, probably set up with Ties of the Brethren. I love Ties of the Brethren decks, man. Decks like Magical Musketeers, and I believe that not just Magic Specters, but technically I think Trap Tricks can use it as well. They don't, but you know, it's something that they can do, especially now that they have a Link monster. Anyway, it's going to tribute a couple of his Magnet Warriors to get different Magnet Warriors, and that's all fine. Dump some cards in the graveyard, is shell to get new cards, summon a shell back from the graveyard, and then tribute one of your opponent's monsters. That's pretty much how Lilith works. I think that he got a virus card. Yes, crush card sets. Oh no, back to the front is what he got. All right, so he'll probably just pass turn. This was just a lapse in judgment, a little bit of a brain fart here. His opponent goes instant fusion for Thousand Eyes Restrict. Instead of immediately tributing it with Lilith, he actually lets it activate and then he tributes. That was a mistake. I don't know, maybe if he thought he was going to target something different, but I feel like he should have just instantly got that off board. Now his opponent's going to have 5 monsters on field. This is the power of Doki, man. They can get monsters on the field easily. All these monsters, well, a lot of them are level 3, so there could be a Gorgonic Guardian play here. He's going to go for Trishbenia and then goes for Gorgonic Guardian. He is going to get crush carded, which is just, that thing is devastating because I think he's going to lose every single monster that he has. I mean, everything is going down. He loses every single card. Now, luckily, he is actually able to summon, well, his opponent's going to try to summon Darkest Diablos. That's not going to happen. And luckily, he is going to be able to use the Delta, and he's going to be able to summon a Valkyrion from his deck, which is actually kind of nice. Now, that's the only card that he has to his name at this point, so he'll probably attack over his shell, and then, you know, that's basically it. And there's a very decent chance that if his opponent gets to Lilith, which he just drew into, it'll get tributed anyways. So it looks kind of like dire. Like, I was like, all right, well, pretty much seems like Doki's taking the L right here, but never counted out. Well, he did top deck a copy of Ties of the Brethren, which made me double down on that he's gonna lose thing. But summoning Block Dragon from the graveyard, his opponent takes the bait. This was another mistake. You never want to try to get rid of your opponent's like, I don't think you should get rid of Block Dragon by destroying it. Basically, don't send this damn thing to the graveyard. If you can bounce it, then bounce it, unless you can like negate it in the graveyard with like Called by the Grave or something, because you'll see not only is he going to get a monster back, he completely fills his hand back up, and now he can actually start doing some stuff. And if he's able to get Berserkion on the field, he will go Berserkion on his opponent's ass, which he just searched, and now here comes Berserkion. And if you guys do not know, Berserkion's effect to pop cards on your opponent's side of the field is identical to like Dark Arm Dragon. It's not a hard once per turn, and it can torch everything. So he's going to activate Rebellion, pop a card. Okay, cool. Just doesn't matter. Pop your Mirror Force, pop your Lilith, pop your field spell, pop your token, summon Block Dragon back from the graveyard, and that, sir, is that's pretty much a wrap. He did exact damage too. He did exactly the amount of damage that he needed. Even after getting crush card for like 5 cards, he still was able to come back and win during the next turn. That was quite impressive. You definitely earned that victory. Second duel is with the Weather Painters. You know, I was thinking about this as I was watching the Weather Painter duel. Pot of Extravagance, by the way, activated first. Currently my favorite card in Yu-Gi-Oh! The card's just nuts. And then Snow into the Snow Canvas. Man, can you imagine how good Weather Painters would have been if Weather Painter Rainbow was not a Link 3? If that card would have been, I honestly think Konami did not test that card like R&D. If that card would have been a Link 2, or oh my god, if it would have been a Link 1 with like 1,000 attack, this deck would have been so nuts, man. It would have been so much better if they would have made Rainbow like 1,000 attack but a Link 1. Anyways, you can see that Invoke Mech Knight are trying to go off. Now the thing about it is, you really have to watch when weather painters have thunder canvas set up. You got to watch what you put on field, because basically every single monster that they have on the field that is in this column or adjacent, so like the left or right column, they're essentially all grand moles, and they banish themselves and then come back, so they don't even go back to the hand. Now, the thing is, it becomes the monster effect, so technically Merkaba can negate it, but the thing is, if your opponent can just get a bunch of weather painters on the field, you can't really like stop them. Nobody plays mirror force or battle traps or anything like that. So, it just becomes one of those things where it's really difficult to actually deal with. And you can see Thunder's coming back, Snow's coming back. The one that I never use, what is this? This is Rainy. I never use this card, so I don't even recognize it. You can see now he's just going to start bouncing all his opponent's monsters. Merkaba is trying to negate, but at this point, it just doesn't matter. Then he's gonna get the Aurora on field. Now all his spells and traps are protected, and Aurora, well, she took off because basically she banished herself for the effect of the Grand Mole. And this is the problem with weather painters. This is why I was talking about the link. They can get like 5 monsters on the field, but it's like turn 3. It's so difficult for the deck to be able to go straight into like Rainbow. I feel like how Altergeist can kind of go into Hextea a lot of times, like turn 2. Weather painters kind of needed to be able to do that, but they just don't. Like, yeah, he can go into it now, but at this point it doesn't even matter if you go into Rainbow. The duel has essentially been decided at this point. He's going to activate some cards so that the Mech Knight player doesn't really have much to work with when it comes to like columns, but even with the copy of Merkaba, I mean, good luck getting through all of these monsters, especially when, again, every single monster that is in these columns is a Grand Mole. All the weather painters are going to come back at this point. Maybe he would go for Rainbow, but again, it's the duel has basically been decided, so it's almost kind of pointless. It really would only make sense to go on the Rainbow in main phase 2, basically because you don't have enough damage to kill your opponent. So he is going to go for Rainbow now and then summon Sunny back. But this is the problem with Rainbow, is that you're summoning it, so late into the duel. At this point, the game's already over. You can just negate invocation, and that's cool. Even if you couldn't negate the invocation, your opponent's probably not going to be able to come back anyway. So yeah, Rainbow to me, I think if it was a Link 1, it just would have been nuts, man. It would have been very similar to like Trap Trick Sarah or Magical Musketeer Max, cards that are Link 1s that are basically saviors for their archetypes. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed those short duels. I hope Weather Painters do get another Link card, because Rainbow, she's good. It's just too damn hard to make. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.